History does not warn empires before they fall. It tests them quietly at the edges. In the early 3rd century, Rome believed the East was secure. Parthia, the old Persian rival, was weak, divided, fading into history. But far from Rome's marble halls, a new fire was burning in Persia. A man named Ardashir was rising, and with him a war that would last 400 years. Rome ruled from Britain to Syria. Its legions were disciplined, its borders fortified. To the east lay the Parthian Empire, once mighty, now fractured by internal feuds. Roman governors laughed at Persian instability, but power, history teaches us, does not disappear. It changes hands. Ardashir was not born an emperor. He was the son of Papak, a local ruler in Persis, modern southern Iran. Yet Ardashir carried something more dangerous than ambition, a memory. He claimed descent from the Achaemenids, the ancient kings who once ruled from the Indus to the Aegean, who once humbled the Greeks and challenged the West. To Ardashir, Parthia was not Persia. It was a betrayal. In 224 AD, Ardashir challenged Ardashir I, the last Parthian king. At Hormozgan, two worlds collided. A heavy Parthian cataphracts charged. Persian cavalry maneuvered with precision. Dust turned the battlefield into a choking fog of death. By nightfall, Ardashir lay dead. The Parthian Empire, Rome's old rival, was finished. Ardashir crowned himself Shahanshah, king of kings. He centralized power, restored Zoroastrianism as the state faith, forged a professional army loyal to the throne. This was not a tribal kingdom. It was a resurrected empire, and Rome had not yet realized what it was facing. Ardashir did not send ambassadors. He sent armies. Persian forces crossed into Roman Mesopotamia, threatening cities like Nisibis and Caria, names haunted by Rome's past humiliations. These were not raids, they were declarations. Rome was no longer facing Parthian chaos. It was facing Persian purpose. The greatest strategic mistake an empire can make is assuming tomorrow will look like yesterday. Rome treated Ardashir as just another Eastern rebel. But history shows us something brutal and consistent. New powers are most dangerous before they are understood. Emperor Alexander Severus, young and eager, marched east in 230 AD. 3 Roman armies advanced, one through Armenia, one along the Euphrates, one straight toward the Persian heartland. Roman confidence was high. But Ardashir did not fight Rome's war. He fought his own. Persian cavalry struck supply lines. Horse archers harassed Roman flanks endlessly. Heat, distance, and unfamiliar terrain bled the legions dry. No single decisive battle. No Roman triumph. Only exhaustion. Alexander Severus withdrew. For the first time in generations, Rome had faced the East and failed to impose its will. This was not a victory or a defeat. It was something far more important, a signal. Rome had met an equal power, organized, ideological, and determined. From this moment forward, peace would be temporary, war would be inevitable. The Roman-Persian frontier would never rest. Rome fought to preserve order. Persia fought to reclaim destiny. Neither could afford to lose. Neither could afford to stop. This rivalry would drain treasuries, destroy armies, and weaken both empires until new powers rose from their shadows. Ardashir would die peacefully. But his legacy did not. His son, Shapur I, would do the unthinkable. He would capture a Roman emperor alive, and Rome would learn the first clash was only the beginning. Rising rival's ideology creates endurance greater than armies. Long wars often destroy both sides. Rome had lost battles before. Rome had lost legions. But Rome had never lost an emperor alive. What followed Ardashir's rise was not peace. It was something far worse. It was Shapur. Shapur I did not inherit chaos. He inherited a machine. His father Ardashir had forged the Sassanian Empire into a centralized, disciplined state. Religion, army, and crown bound together. Shapur grew up watching maps instead of games, listening to generals instead of poets. To him, Rome was not a rival. It was unfinished business. By the mid-3rd century, Rome was unraveling. Emperors rose and fell in months. Legions proclaimed their own rulers. Plague hollowed out cities. This era would later be called the crisis of the 3rd century. Shapur saw opportunity, and he struck. Persian armies surged into Mesopotamia and Syria. Roman frontier cities collapsed one by one. In 253 AD, Shapur shattered Roman forces at Barbalissos, opening the road west. Then came the unthinkable. Antioch, one of Rome's greatest cities, fell. Persian banners flew where Roman eagles once stood. Measured reflective pause. Empires are rarely defeated from the outside first. They weaken themselves and then invite the blow. Rome's greatest enemy was no longer Persia alone. It was Rome itself. In 253 AD, Emperor Valerian took command personally. This was an old Roman tradition, an emperor leading legions to restore honor. Valerian marched east with a massive army. His goal was clear: crush Shapur, restore Rome's authority, and the Persian threat forever. But the east had changed. Near the city of Edessa, Roman and Persian forces met. Shapur did not rush. He waited. Roman troops, weakened by plague and supply shortages, struggled to maneuver. Persian cavalry encircled them. Horse archers rained death. Cataphracts closed in like iron walls. Valerian attempted negotiations. Shapur agreed. Valerian entered the Persian camp. He never returned. For the first and only time in Roman history, a reigning Roman emperor was captured alive. Shapur ordered the moment carved in stone. Roman artists would have erased it. Persian reliefs would immortalize it. Yet Roman sources claimed Valerian was used as a footstool. Persian records remain silent on such cruelty. But one truth is undeniable. Valerian died in captivity. Rome's aura of invincibility was shattered. Every king, every tribe, every rival now knew Rome could bleed. Empires survive on perception as much as strength. Shapur didn't just defeat Rome militarily. He defeated it psychologically. One captured emperor did more damage than 10 lost battles. Rome descended deeper into chaos. Usurpers multiplied. Borders weakened. Persia reached its zenith, but overextension loomed. The war did not end. It evolved. It evolved. And it would continue for centuries until both giants were exhausted beyond recovery. Shapur called himself the King of Kings of Iran and non-Iran. But new threats were already forming in the deserts, on the steppes, and soon out of Arabia. The Roman-Persian War had weakened the world, and history was preparing its next conqueror. Internal instability invites catastrophic defeat. Symbolic victories can reshape world power. Endless wars exhaust even the strongest empires. If this story changed how you see history, like the video, subscribe for more epic chapters, and tell us in the comments, was Valerian's capture the beginning of Rome's decline? History remembers those moments when the world tilts.